Hello everyone, welcome back to the Leaf Erikson on this wonderful Monday, where again I have plumbed the absolute depths of YouTube to bring you the stupidest of the stupid that feminism has to offer. Much like the Oxford debate with the Screecher, this is very much an et tu Brute moment. As I am a great lover of books, I happened on this book club called Book Riot, where they are reviewing feminist literature. I left the first bit in because I've actually read and quite liked the first book, What If? Everything else is drivel.
This video is brought to you by What If? Serious scientific answers to absurd hypothetical questions by Randall Munroe from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, available now. Randall Munroe is, if you don't know, the creator and artist behind the hugely popular webcomic XKCD. In What If, he's illustrating answers to some of the most absurd questions about science that you can think of, like how many ways could I possibly die if I tried to build an actual periodic table out of the actual elements? Or what would the relativistic effects be of a baseball traveling near the speed of light? The illustrated answers are witty, gleefully into science, deeply researched, and the book itself is a great gift for existing fans of XKCD or for anyone who is into science, hypothetical, and exploring the absurd. So that's What If? Serious scientific answers to absurd hypothetical questions by Randall Munroe, out now wherever books are sold. Hi writers, happy Monday.
Oh, hi. Well, that was fortuitous. It actually is Monday.
Wallace here again, and today I'm going to tell you a little story about something that happened to me this week. I had an encounter with a man who was very, very angry with women.
Feminist?
It started because of a New York Post article that I happened to make a comment on, and turns out that this person was upset about feminism
See? See?
in general, and all sorts of things to say about feminism, about like a pregnant lady not taking a seat that's offered to her, and how anybody can take their feminism. He'd rather have a woman in the kitchen with a picture of a woman in her thong cooking in a crop top.
Sounds nice.
In a crop top and a thong, because so many women cook that way.
Well, some very kind, fun, and confident women will cook that way for their men.
Anyway, I decided that to honor that, I was going to go ahead and make a whole video about books to read if you're a feminist.
Or if you just want to know thy enemy.
And I went to go put makeup on because I am a pregnant lady who, doesn't want to look like a tired pregnant lady all the time. And I decided I'm not going to put makeup on for this video.
Ooh, how stunning and brave of you.
In honor of my feminist video, I'm not going to even put makeup on. Not that feminists can't wear makeup, because I do. But the picture of the lady cooking in her thong and her crop top just kept coming back to me, and I thought, to counteract that image in the world, I'm going to give you this image.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hag it up and shrink some dicks instead.
A nice natural face, talking about feminism. So I got 4 books for you today. If you are a feminist, if you're interested in reading more about feminism. And really, not all of these are exactly about feminism, but they have to do with it.
Bullshit.
This is the book that I failed a math course because of. I spent a semester reading and rereading these stories in here.
And they wonder why we can't get women into STEM. Oh, you're reading Gloria Steinman instead of doing math. Woo!
By Gloria Steinem, Outrageous Acts and Everyday Rebellions. They're basically articles it's a compilation of articles that she had written, and they're fascinating, and they are about being a feminist.
No shit.
But for the most part, they're just really, really interesting articles about her life as a woman who was going against the grain of her time.
Sounds thrilling. You ever heard of Margaret Atwood? She'd smack you in the mouth even at her advanced age, for being such a mindless twit.
And what happened because of that. She was basically a journalist who put herself into situations to
So she was pushy and nosy? Shocking.
get a better experience that she could write about. So fascinating if you haven't read it. It's easy to read because you can read an article at a time, then go to something else and then come back to it.
Well, then it's perfect for feminists because it requires absolutely no commitment or hard work.
Also, Click, When We Knew We Were Feminists by Courtney E. Martin and J. Courtney Sullivan.
I think I saw that one as a movie. I must be thinking of something else.
Some of you probably know J. Courtney Sullivan from her novels, but this is nonfiction,
That's debatable.
and it's short essays by writers who talk about when they knew they were feminists, and it gives you a really good idea of what feminist is, because feminist is not just crazy man-hating women.
Not just. They're not just.
Because feminist is not just crazy man-hating women
Oh, amazing.
who burn bras and don't wear makeup. I overkilled on the not makeup, but you know, mostly because I'm pregnant and lazy, and mostly because I'm lazy.
Another shocking and unexpected confession from a feminist.
And it was a good excuse. However, I'm going to link to the video of Emma Watson speaking, because if you didn't see that when that went viral, her message about feminism and what it means, then you need to watch it, because it's very good. She's intelligent and articulate, and she really explains it incredibly well, better than I could recap right here. It's not worth it. So I'm going to link to that below. Take a few minutes to watch it.
No, 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 no. No one is watching that shit ever again. That privileged fucking cunt.
It's definitely worth a watch. Bad Feminist
Indeed. Bad. Bad feminist. Bad.
by Roxane Gay. Again, somebody who's talking about how feminism is not just one thing, it's not just one ideal, it's not just one, idea of like, it's not just one way of doing things. It's basically just the idea that men and women are equal. Also, a bunch of short essays, so that if you want to read other things while you're reading this, if you're like, no, oh my gosh, a whole book, feminism,
Mental deficiency seems to run deep with you folks. Oh, and she's about to go full Islam, by the way.
I promise you, feminism is not scary. Not the core ideal. Not the core idea of feminism. It's really not scary, and probably most of you are feminists.
You don't know it, but you probably are religious. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Islam isn't scary. I mean, the core isn't scary anyway. Top Keck, love.
If you think about it, you do think that men and women should be treated equally in any part of this world, in any culture. And these are some interesting thoughts to read about it. And the last one is really not a book about feminism, but it has a lot of, and not even everything in it is feminist, because she lived in a time period that definitely influenced her life and her writing.
The weak-willed coos.
But some of it is incredibly feminist, and it's fantastic, and I do think she was a feminist, even if it looks a little different than what it does today. She certainly lived her life in the way that she felt that she certainly lived her life in a fashion that showed that she thought men and women were equal.
Wow, really long build. This better be good.
Even then, when everybody around her was saying that they weren't. So Dorothy Parker, this is the portable Dorothy Parker, which is basically a compilation of a ton of her work. It's essays, articles, poems, short stories, etc. Fantastic, fun to read, because this woman was hilarious, but also very smart. And not everything in here is hilarious, but it's a great read. And again, something that you can just read one short story, one article, one poem, and continue to read something else at the same time, so that you don't have to be inundated with this, because it is quite large. This is one copy. This is There are several versions. This is the Penguin Classic Deluxe Edition. As you can see, it's lovely. There's the cartoons on the back. Highly recommend it. It's also a fantastic gift book to give. But again, there are other versions. If you want a smaller one that you can read easier, those are findable as well.
Okay, well, listen, Dorothy Parker was a great poet, humorist, and satirist, but she was never and had no affiliation with feminism, and she probably wouldn't have considered herself a feminist because she was like a normal woman.
Okay, I'm done with my rant. Thank you for listening. I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Well, thank you for providing me and my viewers a low-key but still riddled with bullshit video to start off the week. Please stop pushing your shitty anthologies and collections as literature. The fact that only one of the four was even a complete, well-thought-out, composed intellectual discourse, and instead most of them were rambling collections from one author or the babbling brook of bullshit offered by Click, does not bode well for the intellectual future of feminism. I could barely finish that without laughing. Intellectual future of feminism.